Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, Fabulites. I got some questions for you. What opens with kicking somebody out of your driveway or your yard off your property after you already kicked them out of your house? And what closes with Miss Robin asking, "You trying to fix me to get answers to your questions? You think I need therapy?" Or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. If you guessed, the Real Housewives of Potomac, I don't know. Is this episode 4? I don't know. I'll find out though. You're correct. I'm about to do a quick recap and review. Okay, so we open with where we left off at the last episode. We're at Monique's game night. Giselle has been kicked out. She's out in the driveway on the property still with Robin, Charisse, Ashley, Giselle, plus one other person, maybe Giselle's plus one. And I think that's all that's out there. And you know, basically Ladybug Monique comes out and she like, what's going on? Oh, you know, she like, no, what's going on? All right, so let's get to moving. And they're kind of like, okay. And she walks off and they're all still there. I'm like, are they gonna get to moving? But they do get to moving. So, you know, Giselle goes on goes on about her business. This is the notes that I have about that. I guess when they go back in the party, I'm like, how do you, Ashley, know what Robin wants or needs in a relationship? I don't know if y'all really know each other that well. I'm just saying. And I kind of have the philosophy, more or less, where if you like it, I love it. Now, if we're friends and it seems to be something that you don't like, then I don't like it either. And if it seems to be something that you like and we're friends and I'm really concerned for your safety, emotional, spiritual, physical, then I'm going to express how I feel subtly at first, but at first by asking questions and then by making statements if we need to escalate to that point. But I don't think that these two women have that type of relationship. And I learned a long time ago that don't nobody want my advice. I try not to give unsolicited advice. Look, as I'm trying to give the lady, Miss Ashley, don't nobody want your unsolicited advice. This is my unsolicited advice to you. I love Monique's maxi in that scene. It's very cute. I like the idea that they tried to do the Samuels turn up, and just make it a party and make it fun. I like seeing, black and brown people having a good time. And I think that I could enjoy, but I do think that, Miss Ashley, you're doing the most, and you could turn it down, and you could probably turn it all the way down and do the least, and it would probably be okay. I do know that you're trying to do a job because you're on TV. Okay, so we're on the house hunt with what's the family, the Huberts. We're on the house hunt with the Huberts, and Miss Karen continues to try to get right size to catch on as a term of, instead of downsizing, we're right sizing. Her house is lingering on the market. I didn't realize that, but it did kind of bring me back to earlier in the season. The season just started. Charisse said to Monique when someone suggested, "Oh, Monique, Rob, the Huberts are selling their house," and Monique was like, "You do not want that house," and I mean not Monique. Charisse was like, "You do not want that house," and Monique was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Why?" So, I don't know if it's overpriced. I know that houses are very personal, and you may feel like this house is worth $2 million. And 5 years ago, it might have been worth $2 million. But the thing about selling anything is it's worth what it sells for, more or less. So if there's nobody out there who's willing to buy your house for $2 million or $1.8 million, then it may not be worth that at the moment. And I know it's so personal, but I really do hate to see, she done lived in that house for 20 years, and I don't know if she's been buying and selling real estate in the interim, and maybe we just don't know that about her. But I feel like if you've hired a professional realtor, real estate agent, whatever this person is, if they're a professional, did you vet them? Do you trust them? Do they sell houses? Do they sell houses in your community? If they don't, then you might need to hire somebody else. But if you're hiring a professional to do a job, then Miss Karen, take the professional's advice. Has it been 20 years since you bought a house? Do you know what's going on in the market? Are you an expert at selling houses? Go on and, but she don't want to take the advice. She don't want to have a sign outside. I don't know what standard in that community, but, I don't know. I'm like, is something going on with you, or is something going on with your real estate agent, or your real person that you don't trust them? Let the professionals get you a professional that can do the job. So then the next scene, we're at a coffee shop with Giselle and Cal. She says that Cal is of the darker hue, which is really hard to match. So she's having Cal do some foundation testing. She tried it on him and he seemed to really like it. Oh, it disappeared and, all of that stuff. So that's good. She got a match for him. Just because he dark and you got a match for him, it don't mean that it's going to work for all dark people. But that's a start. And I like to see the representation. She talks about women's husbands' bank accounts defining them. And, Giselle, stop it. It's just no more commentary. Just let it go, Giselle. Because it is not an attractive look on you at all. Y'all are all attractive women, but it's just, this is just let it go, boo. We talk about she mentions the wine gossip, and then how her heart went out to Charisse in terms of dealing with divorce, and she wants to show her girls, her children, that she's not just a Mrs. or an ex-Mrs. And I think that that's viable, and I think that that's I think that's wonderful. We don't have to tear people down though to build ourselves up. So you just focus on doing what you want to do for your girls, being a model for them, and be a model of positive, productive action. I'm all for that. I'm here for that. Charisse is at a pageant dress store. Did she say that Ash was Miss DC? We see Ash come in. I like her dress too. It's not a maxi, but it's a nice length dress and it looks nice on her shape and everything. Charisse says to Ashley that she feels that she was insensitive. I feel like it's insensitive for you to be in other folks' business. And then Ashley says something to the effect of, just because she didn't let somebody treat her like garbage for 4 years and you cry all the time. And then Miss Charisse is like, you are in the wrong territory. They end up having a fight. And then they walk out, and then Gilda, the store owner, this is what I think I heard her say at the end of that scene. Why they fight in my store? Then there's a montage. So it's just like, I've only noticed it on the Real Housewives of Potomac, but Monique was at her desk. I can't remember. It was like 3 or 4 things, but I'm all here for a montage. I love a montage. And I love to say it, montage. Yes, more montages. Okay, so then we're at with Robin, and she's at a radio station with Juan, and so the DJ is introducing, Juan is on the air, and he's here with his partner, Ann. And he just kind of leaves it hanging. I don't know why he didn't just say partner and keep it moving. But I think she says that she feels that people who have known them for a long time are confused, and they don't really know, they don't really know what's going on. They know they were married. They know they're divorced. They don't really know what's going on now. And Robin says that she's comfortable just being called the wife. And she says something to the effect of, if the stupid rumors that Ashley is spreading around are true, then it is the end of their functioning 2-parent household. Did she say that? And I think she also said that she doesn't want to bother Juan by asking him about those rumors. So that was very confusing to me. And I felt, I feel for Robin, because that just sounds messy and crazy as hell. And I know sometimes our emotions are messy and crazy as hell, and the way that we try to rationalize things and understand things are messy and crazy as hell. And I also know that, you know, as grown people, we can negotiate relationships that work for us. I don't even know you, and I'm concerned that you've negotiated a relationship that works for him but doesn't work for you. Is it working for you? Because if you like it, I love it, but some of the things you say, they're very confusing. So that's all I got on that scene. Then we see that Giselle is in a new place. Giselle got a new place? What's going on? Charisse is visiting. I didn't know she had, okay. Giselle wants to let Charisse know that she is in her corner. And Giselle says that she got her voice after her divorce. So that's really interesting, because I got the impression of her being a mean, bitchy woman in college. So it seems like maybe she had her voice to, I don't know. But I haven't really gotten the impression of Giselle being, you know, a voiceless woman. But we all go through phases. So there are sometimes when those of us who are very outspoken are very quiet. So, you know, maybe she didn't feel like she could just really be all of who she was in the context of her marriage. I'm not really sure. But I thought that was an interesting statement, and I wanted to know more. Charisse is telling Giselle about the dress shop encounter with Ashley, and they're basically saying that they feel like Ashley needs to back off, because Robin is not really gonna feel comfortable talking to Ashley. Robin, if she gonna feel comfortable talking to anybody, I guess anybody on the show, it's gonna be Charisse and Giselle. They feel like she's not gonna feel safe or be real with Robin. And these two say that they really want, not with Robin, with Ash. That Robin is not going to feel safe and be real with Ashley. But these two women, they really want Robin to win. So they are going to talk to her in order to help her to get herself back. So we see a setup for, you know, an encounter that's going to happen later on. Or, you know, not a setup, but yeah, setup. Then we see the Samuels couple visiting their pastor and also their realtor. Their first lady is their realtor. I didn't realize that, but they did do a flashback to the scene, and she said, "Excuse me, first lady." So I don't know, but they're signing on some property in Potomac. They made an offer, it was accepted. Yay, we're so excited. I don't know if I'm that excited, but yay. She refers, Mrs. Samuels refers to that to Giselle. I was surprised and I was shocked. And the pastor asked Monique if she called Giselle a trick. And Monique says yes. And the pastor says you need to apologize for that. Now, I don't really think of, I think of trick as, if you're a prostitute, isn't the trick the person who you get money from? I don't know. I mean, I have heard people refer to women as tricks, and it is not like it does not have the most flattering connotation. But I mean, I never thought of it as like just the bottom of the barrel, you know, designation. I mean, I wouldn't want nobody calling me a trick, but I don't know if I'd fight if somebody called me a trick. I'd probably be like, well, I ain't messing with them. But her minister tells her that ain't cool, you know, you need to apologize. It turns out, according to Monique, that Giselle reminds her of her mother-in-law. And she also, in that scene, Monique refers to herself, or someone refers to Monique, but I think it's Monique, as Motormouth Monique. So I thought that was interesting. Just like someone I know used to call me, or calls me, or has referred to me as Smiley Riley. And a lot of people talk about, oh, you smile a lot, da 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 da. Look, now I'm trying to smile. Like, I do smile a lot. But, so maybe, I guess it's like common knowledge that she talks a lot. If she referring to herself as Motormouth Monique, that's like, it's got onomatopoeia and everything. Is that onomatopoeia? Alliteration. It's got alliteration and everything. Is that alliteration? Okay, so then, oh Lord. So then we're with the Hugh Bears. The Hugh Bears with Karen and her husband. the Hugers. What's their name? But you know what I'm talking about. The Black Bill Gates and his wife. And she says that she will have private showings without appointments. Is that what she said? Because I was like, how'd that work? But anyway, there's some black folks that are looking, and you know, it was nice to see some black folks looking, I guess. Nice for them. But it's like a house is so personal, and that's why I just think a lot of times you just need to have a professional handle it, because it's it's very personal, because everything that the Mrs. Black Bill Gates really liked or admired or thought was great, it was like they had the woman saying, this is a little dated, or that's an old-fashioned chandelier, or, you know, I would get rid of that. And that happens a lot, you know. Okay, so then we're at Charisse's. Giselle is there. And what are the projects that the assistant gets and manages? Yeah, so, right, Charisse has an assistant, and he handles everything, including projects. And I'm like, well, I wonder what projects she works on. But anyway, Robin, she comes, and she's glad to see Charisse and Giselle become friends again. And I had forgotten all about their beef. It ain't even been that long. But Robin says she wants nothing to do with the event with Ash. I'm assuming she's talking about the Oz event that she was going to organize to try to, you know, that she was going to try to do some promotions and marketing work with Ash's business. But now she don't want to be bothered with her. And Robin doesn't really want to talk about her relationship with Juan. She just want to come hang out with the girls. But they have an agenda. They want to talk about her relationship with Juan. And I noticed that Robin's hair was Robin's hair a little nappy around the edges. I was like so excited. Like, I don't know why. I love to see a nap. I don't know. I love to see naps. I love to see nappy headed people. And I guess when people have it straightened or a perm, you don't know it's there. So it's like, oh my gosh, it's like a little piece of Africa, or a little piece of blackness, or, you know, I got nappy hair. Yay! I was just happy to see it. Or I thought I saw it. Maybe I was just projecting. Robin, she's like, what's the plan? I don't have a plan. And Charisse is like, have you thought about therapy? And Robin is like, to fix me? To get answers for your questions? Like, you know, she's saying in her interview, what do I need therapy for? But I was happy to see on the preview for next week that I was glad to see Robin talking to the black TV therapist guy. What's his name? You know, Charisse's therapist, who we've seen on a lot of reality shows. Floodgates and fingers are free. I don't know what that is, but I wrote that too. So yeah, that's what we got. Real Housewives of Potomac. All right, I feel like we're kind of getting into the groove of the dynamics and the relationships. And, you know, I like to see some progress, though. I like to see, I like to see some progress. So that's what I got. Thank you so much for watching. Fabulous one. Be you, be fabulous, you. Mwah.